All right, what I'm saying is this: their works revealed a right attitude. God looked at Abraham's works and said, here is a man I can work with. Here is a man that has faith. They were not saved by their works or by their right attitude. They were saved by grace. Works revealed their right attitude, the right attitude that God must have. You see, I mean, this is really what it's all about. God is looking at your attitude toward Him, toward the Word of God, and toward His law. And there are way too many churches out there who have a bad attitude toward the law of God. In fact, when you hear the law has been abolished, it's been nailed to the cross, that's a bad attitude toward the law of God. And these people, they're not going to be made right. They're not going to be justified by God's grace. They're simply not. Not the hearers of the law are just before God, but the doers come into a position to be justified by God's grace. Now, when it comes to God's law, let me ask you a question. Do you have the right attitude? Do you have the right attitude? You know, a lot of people don't. Do you have an attitude of surrender, of unconditional surrender, where you say, aye, sir, I will do what you tell me to do? You know, that's a term in the military. Aye, sir. That means I have heard and I understand the commandments or the instructions given to me. Do you have that attitude toward God? God, I understand. God, I will try to carry out what your word says. Do you have the right attitude when it comes to God's law? I remember a long time ago, we had a worker that we had hired to do our masonry work, and the masonry work, it was wintertime, and I think it had slowed down, and so we got him to work on the farm, or my sister's farm, and we told him we wanted him to dig some holes for a fence post hole diggers. You know how hard those things are to work, you know. And he said, I can't do that. That's not my job. You see, he didn't have the right attitude. You know, we didn't hire, I mean, we hired him to do work, period. But you see, he had a bad attitude, and we soon got rid of him. Well, you see, I think God does the same thing. When you got a bad attitude toward His law, He gets rid of you. He doesn't work with you. Now, I didn't say you couldn't be religious. Oh, believe me. You can go to church 6 days a week, twice on Sunday, sing in a choir, praise Jesus, I love Jesus, all that. You can go through the motion. But if you got a bad attitude toward God's law, you're out of the loop entirely. Entirely.
Check us out on the web at isthatreallyinthebible.com.